Oop. Hello class. I just decided to make a quick video on how to do the Lab 2 assignment because a lot of people have been asking for such a video, which is surprising because I wasn't under the impression that very many people were watching the first video, so go figure. So for the second lab assignment, it basically breaks down to 3 steps. You're going to collect some data, you're going to calculate a correlation. The data you're collecting are 2 variables, so you're going to calculate the correlation between those 2 variables and report the p-value. So as far as the data goes, we're going to collect weight in pounds and height in inches from a sports team. So when I create assignments like these, I need people to be able to easily go out and find their own data. And every sports team has a roster page, and they almost always, in fact, I would say just plain always, have the height and weight of each athlete on the roster. So when I did the example for Lab 2, I chose the Texas Tech football team. You could do any team you want to. You can do your favorite basketball team. You can do LSUA's women's tennis team. You can do whatever team you want. If you don't like sports, I don't know, pick a team anyway. Pick the Globetrotters to be sassy. So I'm going to go with Texas Tech Red Raiders. Any team you type in, let me pull up Google right now. Let's say you want to do, I don't know anything about hockey. What's a hockey team? Red Wings? Is that a hockey team? Yes, it is. Hockey. If you type in Red Wings roster on Google, probably the first Detroit Red Wings. Probably the first thing that should pop up is the roster. And yeah, here you've got height in one column, you got weight in another. Every roster should be like that. It should be pretty easy. So what I did when I did the example is I went and got the heights and weights. I didn't do the whole roster. How many people did I say you need to do? At least 12. Okay. So I picked 12 Texas Tech football players. Not so much at random. Ideally, it would be random. But I went and picked them, and I went to this site, social statistics /tests /Pearson default to yada yada. This is one of many sites that are free to use. You just put in some X values in one column and you put in some Y values in another column, and it'll spit out the correlation information you want. So for Cameron Valdez here, he's 5'9". So 5 feet is how many inches is that? That's 50. That's 60 inches plus 9, so that's 59 inches tall. You're going to have to do some conversions. We don't want feet and inches, we want just inches. So Cameron Valdez is 59 inches tall and 205 pounds. So that's my first row of data. X equals 59, Y equals 205. Rashad Williams is 6'3", so 6 feet is 72 pounds plus 3 inches, that's 75, not pounds. 75 inches tall, and he is 195 pounds, so on and so forth. You keep entering rows of data until you have 12 at least. You don't have to stop at 12. I just have a feeling a lot of people are going to do the minimum. So let's see. I already did this for when I made the instructions for the assignment, so I'm just going to copy that over. This will make for some quality. So we got 72, 70, 74, 71, 3 72s, so 72, 72, 72, and then, oh, there's 4 72s. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 72s, 78, and 74. Okay, then 195, we got 240, 180, 200, 200 again, 190, 215, 220, 225, 295, and 210. This should, if my X values match these and my Y values match these from the first time I did this, then we should get the same exact results. Once you have the heights of each player in inches in your X column and the corresponding weights and the same positions on the Y column, you can then go to calculate R. When you do this, it gives you a lot of information that's pretty nifty. It gives you a scatter plot that shows the, let's see, this is the height by weight. So the more someone weighs, they kind of tend to be a little taller. There is a correlation, I'm sure. That's why I picked this. So here we go. Where? Oh. So the correlation is 0.39. That's what's in this blue right here. The value of R is 0.395. Round that to 0.40. That's the correlation between player height and player weight. But you don't just want the correlation, you also want the p-value. So you're going to click this little thing here that says p-value. Click here to calculate a p-value. And let's see, our score is 0.40. So if you go back to the previous page, it's actually 0.3953. I could put that, actually. Let's see, and N is the number of observations. There's 12 players, so I'm going to put 12. And don't mess with your significance level. Significance should be always at 0.05. That's the default right here. And we're going to hit calculate. The p-value is 0.203, which is not significant. Did I leave a non-significant result in my example? Seriously? I must have done something different. Is the data different? Yeah, the data is different. Let me go back. So this 5.9 right here should be 6.9. Oh, I must have done different players the first time. 195. 195. It's heartbreaking. I can't believe I got unsignificant results. 69, 75, 72, 70, 74, 71, a bunch of 72s, 78, 74, 195. There should be 2 195s. Then 240, 180, 200, 200, 190, 215, 220, 225, 295, 210. So it's exactly the same. Oh, here we go. R is bigger now. So I'm going to copy and paste the 0.6644. See how messing up one data point messed everything up? So then I'm going to click here to calculate p-value. So my R score, when I have my correct data, is 0.6644. N equals 12 because I have 12 players. I'm going to hit calculate. So my p-value is 0.018 and some change. That's great. So what you need for your assignment is you need to show me the data. So I'm going to pretend I'm you. I'm going to say at the beginning, I chose the Texas Tech football team for my project. I'm going to put a semicolon and I'm going to put the URL. The guy grading this is probably not going to go check the URL. I mean, I trust you to go randomly pick some players and record their heights and weights. Then you need to show the data. So there are a couple of things you can do to show the data. You could create an Excel table, and you could say, 6'9", 150, etc., etc. I'm going to put some random numbers in just to speed this up. This is just an example. Don't fabricate data. And put this. I guess you could just, let me try copying and pasting and just see what that looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. Might be better to do height and weight. Get some labels on there. You highlight the whole thing, copy, click where you want it to go in your Word document, hit paste. That is good enough. That's one simple way to do it if you're comfortable with Excel. You could also do a screenshot. On my computer, a screenshot's pretty easy. It's Shift-Command-4, and then you can pick where you want to do your screenshot. So that should end up on my desktop. Let's see. There we go. Screenshot, drag it in. Either of these is fine, but I do need to see your data so that I or the person grading it can go verify that you did everything correctly. And for the results, I'm going to write it a couple of different ways because there are various ways you could write this. There was a statistically significant correlation between players, and since it's multiple players and possessive, the comma comes after the S, not before. Height and players' weight, comma, italicized R, and gosh, I always forget, is that degrees of freedom does go in the, so degrees of freedom would be 10 because it's n-2. R, italicized R, in parentheses, 10 equals 0.66, 0.66. Italicized P equals, click here to calculate the p-value because I forgot what it was. I'm not sure if it's official APA style 7th edition law, what you're supposed to do with the decimal points for p, but I report it always to the 1/100th, the thousandths place, round to the nearest thousandth place, unless it's less than 0.001, then you just say it's less than 0.001. That's just my rule. I don't know what APA says you officially have to do, but that's what I like to do. It's not an official rule, but yeah, I'm going to put 0.018. So that's one way you could write it. You could also say players, you'd say the height and weight of each player was positively correlated, comma, and you do all the same things. 10 equals 0.66, P equals 0.018. So in summary, we want to know what team did you pick, put a URL for the roster, show us your data. I appreciate it when people also screenshot the this page, like just screenshot. I can see that you actually put all the data in, so I can see this. Like if you screenshot that, and then 0. I feel like I've done this a million times now. Calculate that. Okay, and then screenshot all this stuff. That way it removes all doubt that you didn't just put random numbers. I don't think anyone puts random numbers in these. I'm sure some students do, and one day I might have to make it an official rule that you have to show me all your dirty work. Bad students ruining it for the good students. Let me see in the. I should probably, before I run my mouth, should see what the instructions say. Yeah, be specific. APA style is not arbitrary. You don't necessarily have to show all the stats output from the website because everything should be reported in step 3 in APA style. Now, I guess in theory, I or the academic assistant would probably notice that these numbers aren't realistic. But yeah, don't put random numbers. Actually do the assignment. We want to see your data. We want to see your APA style write-up of the data once, not twice. Just make sure you italicize the right stuff and all that, and you should get full credit. All right. I'll probably do another one of these for the third lab when the time comes. But in the meantime, y'all have a great night or day, whatever it is.